At first glance, the cowboys of the Old West seemed like unlikely heroes of the wild frontier. They lived tough lives in rugged, unforgiving terrain, where their duties were far from romantic. These tasks included guiding cattle, mending fences and structures, and enduring grueling cattle drives lasting for months, with brief respites found only in rough, frontier towns. Despite the harsh reality of 19th century cowboy life, it somehow transformed into legendary tales, even during that era. The advent of cheap novels, Hollywood films, and TV series solidified cowboys as icons of American folklore, particularly in the context of white American heritage. Surprisingly, the American cowboy lifestyle drew significant influence from the enduring traditions of Mexican horsemen known as vaqueros. Additionally, it's worth noting that by the late 19th century, it's estimated that approximately a quarter of all cowboys were African American. While the American West of the late 19th century was undeniably tough and risky, it held a unique appeal for many African Americans. After the Civil War, when former slaves and their descendants still grappled with pervasive prejudice and discriminatory laws across the United States, the cowboy lifestyle offered a more level playing field. In the perilous realm of the Wild West, where men relied on each other to tend to cattle and perform demanding physical labor far from civilization, both white and black folks managed to work together in a brotherly fashion seldom witnessed in urban areas. As William Loren Katz, the author of The Black West, once noted, out there in the frontier, cowboys had to depend on each other. They couldn't pause in the midst of a crisis, whether it be a cattle stampede or an attack by rustlers, to sort out who's black and who's white. Certainly, it's a fact that casual racism persisted. Studies reveal that African American cowhands frequently encountered more demanding tasks compared to their Caucasian counterparts. They encountered hurdles in ascending to higher roles on ranches and during cattle journeys, enduring discrimination in frontier settlements, particularly when white women were around. However, despite these challenges, black cowboys left an indelible imprint on the American frontier, contributing significantly to the shaping of the contemporary United States. Now, let's delve into the lives of a few of these remarkable individuals, deserving of the same recognition as legends like Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday. Possibly the most renowned African-American cowboy to ever mount a horse, Nat Love was born into slavery on a Tennessee plantation. During his upbringing, he displayed a natural knack for farming and horse training. This talent served him well when, following the end of slavery, he journeyed to the American West to carve out a life as a cowboy. Nat's existence as a cowboy resembled a page torn from Wild West tales. He frequented saloons and dance halls in legendary frontier towns like Deadwood and Dodge City, engaged in intense skirmishes with cattle thieves and Native Americans, participated in rodeos, and even shared drinks and horseback rides with Billy the Kid. In fact, he and the Kid became fast companions, with the notorious gunslinger even providing him with a tour of the log cabin where he had been born. Later, Nat was in close proximity when Billy the Kid met his demise in Fort Sumner, New Mexico, and witness said, the outlaw's lifeless body firsthand. Throughout his numerous escapades, Nat Lovey endured no less than 14 gunshot wounds, yet miraculously survived his cowboy days. He went on to pen an autobiography and settled into a tranquil life with his family in California. His account of a life filled with thrilling adventures, fine steeds, both honorable and nefarious characters, extensive daring journeys, clashes with Native Americans, and the friendships I formed gained broader recognition in 2021, thanks to the film The Harder They Fall. Born as a slave in Mississippi, Bose Ikard, much like many black cowboys of his era, honed his impressive farming and ranching skills while toiling on his owner's land. After the Civil War and the abolition of slavery, he fully embraced the life of a cowboy. He teamed up with Oliver Loving, a trailblazing rancher who, alongside his partner Charles Goodnight, established the legendary Goodnight-Loving Trail for cattle drives from Texas to Wyoming. Following Oliver's tragic death in a Comanche assault, Bose continued working alongside Charles, and their bond grew stronger. Charles once declared that he placed more trust in Ikard than any other living soul. In his words, he was my investigator, banker, and every other role I needed in Colorado, New Mexico, and the untamed lands we ventured into. After his days of herding and adventure came to an end, Bose settled in Texas with his wife. occasionally facing off against Comanche raiders. Interestingly, he even found himself fighting alongside his former slave master, Milton Ikard, who might have been his father. Bose, who lived to a ripe old age, is still celebrated for his pivotal role in carving out the goodnight-loving trail. This legacy inspired the character Joshua Dietz in Larry McMurtry's best-selling novel, Lonesome Dove, with Danny Glover portraying Dietz in the Emmy Award-winning television adaptation.